Refuse shipments when pests are found or when there are signs of pests, such as egg cases and body parts, legs, wings, stuff like that. To keep pests from entering through openings in the building, you need to screen windows and vents, check screens regularly, and clean and replace them when needed. Install self-closing devices and door sweeps on doors, and repair gaps and cracks in door frames and thresholds. Use weather stripping on the bottoms of doors with no thresholds. Keep exterior openings closed tightly as much as possible. Keep drive-through windows closed when not in use. You should fill holes around pipes with concrete or sheet metal. Cover drains with grates to keep rodents out. And seal cracks in floors, walls, and around equipment.
Besides denying them access, you've got to deny pests food, water, and a hiding or nesting place.
Pests are usually attracted to damp, dark, and dirty places. A clean and sanitary establishment offers little in the way of food and shelter. The stray pests that might get in won't be able to thrive. Besides keeping to your master cleaning schedule, there are some additional guidelines.
Dispose of garbage quickly. Clean up spills around garbage containers immediately. Keep containers clean and tightly covered. Store recyclables properly and keep them in pest-proof containers. And keep containers as far away from the building as allowed. You've also got to store food and supplies quickly and properly. And keep them away from the walls and at least 6 inches or 15 centimeters off the floor. You're also going to have to rotate your products so pests cannot settle and breed. And clean the establishment thoroughly.
Since careful cleaning eliminates the pest food supply, destroys insect eggs, and reduces the number of places that pests can take shelter, there are a few things you should do.
Clean up food and beverage spills immediately. Clean break rooms after use. And keep cleaning tools and supplies clean and dry.
Few pest problems are solved by simply spraying pesticides, although there are many preventive measures you can take to reduce the risk of an infestation. Most control measures must be carried out by a licensed, certified PCO. It's important to be able to spot the signs that indicate the presence of pests and to determine the type you're dealing with. Early detection allows the PCO to start treatment as soon as possible. When it comes to cockroaches, there's a few things you have to know. Most live and breed in dark, warm, and moist places that are hard to clean. And if you see a cockroach in daylight, you may have a major infestation, since only the weakest roaches come out at that time. If you suspect you have a roach problem, check for these signs. A strong, oily odor. Droppings or feces that look like grains of black pepper. And capsule-shaped egg cases that are brown, dark red, or black, and may appear leathery, smooth, or shiny. Rodents leave different calling cards. You should be on the lookout for things like signs of gnawing, droppings, tracks, and nesting materials. Rats and mice use soft materials such as scraps of paper, cloth, hair, feathers, and grass to build their nests. Rats usually nest in holes that are located in quiet places. Nests are often found near food and water, and may be found next to buildings. You may be tempted to apply pesticides yourself, but there are good reasons why you shouldn't do it. Pesticides that are applied the wrong way may be ineffective or harmful, and the pests can develop resistance and immunity to them. Each region has its own pest control problems, and some control measures are more effective than others. Finally, all pesticides are regulated by federal, state, and local laws. Some are not approved for use in food service operations. You should rely on your PCO to decide if and when pesticides should be used in your establishment. They're trained to determine the most effective pesticide to use, and they know how and where to apply it. If your PCO decides to apply pesticides, it should be done when you're closed for business and employees are not on site. Pesticides can be hazardous, so there are some guidelines you should follow when they're going to be applied. You need to prepare the area to be sprayed by removing all food and movable food contact surfaces. You should also cover equipment and food contact surfaces that can't be moved. And you should wash, rinse, and sanitize all food contact surfaces after the area has been sprayed. After the pesticide has been applied, your PCO should store and dispose of all pesticides used in your facility. If they're stored on the premises, you should keep pesticides in their original containers and store them in a secure location away from food,